This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Karunanidhi might blame Jayalalitha for possessing disproportionate assets, but looks like his own security men are not far behind. An Ndtv-Hindu exclusive. MDMK's Vaiko comes under fire for talking against the nation's sovereignty and being a troublemaker. He's slammed with 3 charges. Is the Tandon committee that's looking to de-recognize universities a valid one after all? The Supreme Court investigates. A new post and a better pay, but to a place that was completely imaginary. A victim of the ironies of our system wakes up to some reprieve. Ndtv-Hindu takes you to the best address in Chennai, a dream apartment with a catch many don't mind at all. Chennai girl Deepika Pallikal squashes her compatriots to clinch number 35 in the world rankings. Good evening, I'm Evelyn Matthew. You're watching headlines now on NDTV-Hindu.
I'm Shabir Ahmed and I'll bring you all the latest on the corruption charges on CM's men.
That's right, plenty coming your way. Let's also take a look at the national headlines. A cornered Kalmari sets up a probe after Foreign Ministry sources say his team tampered with letters sent by the Indian High Commission in the UK. BJP Sushma Swaraj initiates the price debate in the lower house, says that the government has fixed its own budget at the cost of the common man. The Kashmir Valley gets bloodier by the day as the death toll goes up to 25. The centre decides to send more forces. Malaysia may no longer be a welcome tourist spot. The nation that claims to be truly Asia denies visa on arrival to the Indians. The men who closely guard the top man of the state, the Chief Minister, are in the eye of a storm now. A petition has been filed seeking a direction to the Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption to probe into allegations of corruption against 3 security officers of the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. It was a financial controller of an NGO who called the Federation of Anti-Corruption team who's filed this petition. In his affidavit, he has alleged that 3 officers who are in actual possession of assets disproportionate to known sources of income. The 3 police officers are in the rank of inspectors of police in the core cell, security branch with the CID of Tamil Nadu Police, and take home salaries ranging between 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. But in the year 2008, these officers were allotted a plot in Mogappair area under the government discretionary quota for their unblemished service, whilst the wife of one of the officers have got the allotment under the social worker scheme. This was also an officer who was recently promoted as the DSP.
Sir, what is your main contention in this petition, sir?
Here, 3 government officials, they were inspectors of police at the time of allotment of house plots, by the government to them. They were allotted these house plots under the scheme, government discretionary quota scheme. These people were able to pay rupees 75 lakhs in one lump sum, each of them. How these 75 lakhs came to them, nobody knows.
But they could have also taken loans, sir.
Right. If they had taken loans, anywhere, either from the bank or from the relatives or friends, they should have intimated this fact to the government prior to allotment. Had they intimated, okay, this is the amount, I have arranged by means of loan, that becomes legal. When they had not intimated this, they are deemed to have committed criminal misconduct under the Prevention of Corruption Act.
So what action can be taken against them, sir, according to law?
And now, the moment the complaint is received by the Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption, with documentary evidence that they were allotted this plot and they had paid in one lump sum rupees 75 lakhs, what the DVAC ought to have done is, immediately they should register the complaint first. Then they should start investigation. They are keeping the complaint for 11 months now, forcing the petitioner to come to the court. This is how the court's time is wasted. Now, he has come to the court, kindly direct the DVAC, to register the complaint and proceed further. DVAC's duty is that.
Well, that was the counsel of one of those officers, C. Selvaraj, Mr. Radhakrishnan. In fact, they're speaking to our reporter, Shabir Ahmed. Now, documents that were obtained under the RTI is now available with Ndtv-Hindu and says that all three officers had paid 75 lakhs in a single installment. The petitioner alleges, meanwhile, that these officers do not have legal sources of income. Our reporter, Shabir Ahmed, now joins us live from our newsrooms. Shabir, Now that the story has really come to the limelight, in fact, you have those documents with you. On what basis really has this person filed this petition in the first place? Is there any truth to this at all?
Well, that is something which the court has to decide as the petition has been filed. But here, the documents available with Ndtv-Hindu clearly shows that how the land has been allotted to all these three officers. Two officers of Chief Minister's Security Guard, two officers are inspector currently, and one has been recently promoted as DSP. And in this is the order where Chief Minister has actually, the government of Tamil Nadu has actually allotted allotted land for these three officers. And in fact, this is where this is another document from the Tamil Nadu Housing Board Mogapere division, where it clearly shows that the cost of the land and the full cost has been paid by these officers. And we also have the salary certificates of these two officers, in fact, in which it very clearly shows that the one officer, Mr. Vinodan, is actually getting take home salary as rupees 10,000 and another officer is taking home rupees 12,000, and it is quite suspicious that officers who are getting paid 10,000 and 12,000 rupees, how can they pay 75 lakh rupees in one go? That is the question which the petitioner has raised in his case, and definitely this case is expected to come up for hearing tomorrow, Evelyn.
All right, Shabir, also a question that would come to one's mind is that this allotment seems to have been made in the year 2008. So why has this petitioner moved to the court now?
Well, this petitioner Selvaraj has been campaigning over this issue for the past 1.5 years, and he has been approaching several officials from the government department. In fact, in 2009, he has approached to the DVAC, the Department of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption, to file a complaint against them because he has obtained these documents under the RTI then itself. But in fact, the DVAC has not registered any complaint because he wanted a probe to be ordered into this, so that just to know what has happened in this entire issue, because an officer who is getting a salary of rupees 10,000 and 12,000 cannot pay 75 lakh rupees in one go. That is his contention. So he wants this issue to be probed because these lands were allotted because they were Chief Minister's security men and favorite guards, and that is why they have asked them to do this, and now he has moved to the court to file a complaint, and definitely he thinks that the court will definitely intervene into this issue and order a probe, Evelyn.
All right. When is this case now expected to come up for hearing?
Well, the case has been numbered, and what the counsel, petitioner's counsel says is that tomorrow it is expected, and tomorrow definitely it will come up in the court, and they are hopeful that with the available evidence, the documented evidence they have, they can definitely get orders from the court. That is what their expectation is, Evelyn.
All right. Thanks very much indeed, Shabir, for joining us with that exclusive story that you're seeing right here on Ndtv-Hindu. In other news now, he may be controversy's child in the state and in politics as well, facing charges for being a troublemaker. MDMK's Vaiko appeared at the 3rd Additional Sessions Court at the Madras High Court premises today. Charges have been framed against him on 3 grounds of speaking against Indian sovereignty, creating enmity between 2 groups, and for creating law and order problems. When asked about contesting the charges, the General Secretary of the party, Vaiko, denied the charges, but agreed to making a speech on the Sri Lankan Tamil situation for 14 days in 2008. Vaiko was then imprisoned for his alleged inflammatory speech that he made in the year 2008 in October. A charge sheet was filed against him in 2009.
நான் பேசியதை மறுக்கவில்லை, ஆனால் குற்றச்சாட்டை மறுக்கிறேன் என்று கூறியிருக்கிறேன். வழக்கை உரிய முறையில் நீதிமன்றத்திலே நாங்கள் எதிர்கொள்வோம்.
Well, on to another news making headlines. The Supreme Court of India is considering whether the Tandon Committee, which had set out to de-recognize deemed universities in the country, is in fact valid or not. The body was appointed by the Human Resource Ministry, and the centre had in fact accepted the committee's recommendations of de-recognizing the violating colleges, of which 17 of them are in Tamil Nadu. These universities too have challenged the validity of this committee, and arguments have been going on. A teacher who was promoted to a non-existent school has now got some reprieve. A differently abled teacher was given a higher post to a school in the Sivagangai district, which did not exist in a bizarre administrative error, has now got a posting to a school near her house. Our reporter Lokpriya brings you this story.
It has been a long wait for Aragamalai Kannan and his family. His wife Krishnaveni, a disabled middle school teacher in Madurai, was promoted as a secondary grade teacher and posted to the Sendurai Government High Secondary School in Sivagangai district. However, the family was shocked to hear that there is no such school in the Sivagangai district.
13ஆம் தேதி சிவகங்கை மாவட்ட முதன்மை கல்வி அலுவலகத்தை தொடர்பு கொண்ட பொழுது அப்படி ஒரு பள்ளி இல்லை, உங்களுக்கு அனுமதி கொடுத்தவரிடம் கேளுங்கள் என்று சொன்ன பொழுது 14ஆம் தேதி மீண்டும் இதே அலுவலகத்தை தொடர்பு கொண்ட பொழுது மீண்டும் அங்கே சென்று சிவகங்கையில் அப்படி ஒரு பள்ளி இல்லை என்று எழுதி வாங்குவார்கள் என்று சொல்லிவிட்டார்கள். இப்படி 3 முறை அலைந்தும் எந்தவித பலனும் இல்லாத.
As per rules, the education department is supposed to post differently abled teachers to schools within 10 kilometers of their house. However, Kannan says this rule was not followed when the posting was made. After media and the Tamil Nadu Federation for the Physically Disabled intervened, the Tamil Nadu School Education Department has now posted Krishnaveni to a school closer home. It's not only the disabled who face irregularities in postings. The same posts have been given to more than one person in some cases. At least 20 teachers from various districts were found waiting in the Joint Director's office today.
பயங்கரமான மனக்கஷ்டம் மேடம். நான் இந்த பட்டுக்கோட்டை இதிலேருந்து இந்த ஆர்டர் காப்பி ஒன்று நம்பி மட்டும் நான் வந்து இந்த மெட்ராஸுக்கு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகி வந்தேன்.
It's a long wait for those who are yet to get revised posting orders. But at least this woman can now be glad that she has got a job in a school that exists. In Chennai, Lokpriya for Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, some reprieve, better late than never. Now imagine being able to see your office cabin from your bedroom at home, a forest-like view from your drawing room, and the sea from your balcony. Well, if you have 7 crore rupees to spare, this dream home could be yours. What's more, it's not on the outskirts of Chennai like most new luxury residential complexes are, but bang in the middle of the city, right next to the Tidal Park and overlooking IIT Madras. Our executive editor Sanjay Pinto reports on the emerging new landmark of the city.
On what was once a cinema shooting location, better known as the MGR Film City, a new landmark is taking shape. It's bang in the middle of Chennai. Coming soon from the Tata stable is the Ramanujam IT SEZ.
We can say this is the only project in India which is located within the city. We have IT office space of about 3.4 million square feet of space here, and we have a retail mall of about 300,000 square feet.
Well, this could arguably be the best address in Chennai, bang in the heart of the city, and it's not merely because of the top-notch facilities on offer, but the sheer view. Look at this, on one side, a complete green lung, quite a rarity one must say in our cities. On the other side, the Tidal Park, and if you look beyond, that's the sea. The 3,300 to 4,700 square feet dream pads are only for those with deep pockets. The price tag 4 to 7 crore rupees. So the 100 apartments on 18 floors are being built as an exclusive abode of CEOs and celebrities. But there's a catch. It's a 99-year lease. The promoters don't believe it's a downside.
And we interestingly identified that CXO CEOs of age between 35 to 48, there doesn't seem to be bothered too much about lease. Approach and attitude of these particular young CEOs and next generation business leaders is that I am not here to accumulate wealth for my great grandchildren.
The builders have shelved an earlier all glass design and will go in for heritage interiors like Raja Ravi Varma paintings and Chettinad architecture. The lucky owners will be able to move into the residential twin towers by March 2012. In Chennai, Sanjay Pinto, NDTV-Hindu.
Well, quite some beauty there, and if you can afford it, catch it while you can. Now, bowing to the jumbos at the temples for your blessings may be a thing of the past soon. The Tamil Nadu government is likely to ban the age-old practice of elephants blessing pilgrims at temples. Wildlife officials have asked temple authorities to put an end to this practice as trainers torture the elephants, compelling them to bless pilgrims, sometimes leaving them injured. Moreover, elephants, like humans, are believed to suffer from diseases like asthma and tuberculosis, and it could possibly spread to the pilgrims as well. The Madras Day frenzy is building up in the city, and if you're still a bit clueless about what the hullabaloo is all about, here's all that you need to know right from the horse's mouth, Mr. Vincent D'Souza.
With me here somebody who has played a huge role in popularizing the concept of celebrating the city. Mr. Vincent D'Souza, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Sure.
First off, how did the idea of celebrating the city come about?
Well, Mr. Muttaya, who is a well-known historian and writer of the city, has been talking about Madras Day, the founding day, which is celebrated across many cities across the world. I said, Mr. Muttaya, I think we need to roll, not just keep talking about it. So an idea, and someone sort of knew wanted to roll it, and there was Sashi Nair, my colleague, who's also a freelance journalist and editor, and he was along with us, and three of us sat around and said, listen, it's time to roll, and therefore we decided to pin down on one day, August 22nd, which is called Madras Day, and now we call it also Chennai Dinam. So most people have begun to actually peg their events well beyond Madras Week, which is 15th to 22nd. There are lots of talks that are taking place. There are heritage walks, exhibitions, campuses are having their own shows, all kinds of things are happening. So you can expect a lot, and if you go up to our website, themadrasday.in, it's got all the sort of stuff up there kind of thing.
Where do you see Madras Week celebration, say 20 years from now? Are there young people who are coming forward to volunteer, who are dedicated to the cause?
Yeah, I mean, the uniqueness of the Madras Day, Madras Week, Chennai Dinam celebrations is that we encourage people to do their own thing in their own backyard. So, I mean, we're surprised by the effect that it's had. If you have about 150 events done by people themselves, you can imagine sort of that this is going to be much bigger and bigger and completely voluntary. So it's going to be big, I guess, sort of 20 years from now.
I'm sure it will, sir. Thank you so much for talking to us. It was a pleasure meeting
you,
sir. Thank you.
Good.
And we here on NDTV-Hindu promise you a journey from Madras to Chennai, so make sure you catch parts of the city that you may never have seen before. Now, the Kashmir Valley is still tense. 4 more deaths stain the hills today. Also coming up, India is all set for its second moon mission coming soon in 2013. In a moment.